These are the words of Taurus Buchanan, who at 16 years old threw one punch during a neighborhood fight. He was charged with homicide and is serving life without parole in Angola, America's largest maximum security prison. Taurus will be 39 years old today. I remember that morning. I was scheduled to go on a gospel tour with my dad, I was supposed to be taking a bath, ironing my clothes, packing my stuff, getting my stuff ready. But then I heard a commotion outside. That was my cousin. They was outside with some friends. Now I'm really going down there to brag, about the trip. We started shooting a breeze about a party that was coming up Saturday. Jacques and his friend, they were up the street, and I didn't recognize him at first, so I asked my cousin, did he know him? My cousin told me, yeah, that's one of them that jumped on me and threw me in the canal. That was the last day of school they had jumped on him. So I asked him, I was like, what are you gonna do? You gonna take care of your business? He was like, yeah, I'm gonna take care of my business. He started tying up his shoes, tightening up his shoelaces and stuff. That was the culture, Before every fight, people would tie up their shoelaces and tighten up their sneakers and stuff. When they got close, my cousin jumped in. He was like, boom, what you want to do now? Jacques got off his bike and they started fighting. Now, a lot of it is vague right now, but I'm giving you the main parts. The fight moved from where we were to where they came from, and my cousin slipped. Jacques started getting the best of him, and so I ran over there. Now, I'm going to tell you what I did. I pushed him, but it was a hard push, like on the side of his neck. Now, if a person really didn't know or wasn't paying attention, you could sweat it. I punched him, but I pushed him that hard. Plus, he was a very bony guy. He fell like a wet paper bag, I'm not gonna lie. And I walked off. You know what my charge is? I'm accused of throwing one punch in a fist fight, and a young brother lost his life, which was a tragic situation, which should have never happened because who knows what that young man could have been. His life was cut short, That was an accident, and it should have never happened. When I first got to the police station, they handcuffed me to a bar on the wall, and I was shaking, not because it was cold, but because I was nervous. I had been in trouble before, but at that moment, I realized that I wasn't ready for what I was facing. I had never been in nothing that serious. I'm thinking somebody's dead. And while they was taking pictures of my hands, I was crying, telling the cop, we ain't intend for nobody to die. We didn't want to kill nobody. We was just fighting, what he died from, what happened. The whole time I was in that cold tank. It was dark in there. The light barely shone through the clouded film. I started praying to God. I was asking him to deliver me from my situation, to vindicate me. I was praying whatever prayer I knew. They came and opened up the door, and we went to trial. And I was found guilty 3 days later. Yep. Judge didn't even ask me if I had anything I wanted to say, which if he had, I would have told him the same thing I've been telling everybody for years. I'm sorry it happened. Jacques could never have lost his life, Nobody intended on that happening. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry it happened. It should have never happened. I had this thought many times over. If I could have blown breath back into his body so he could live again, I would have done that. Even now, I wish I could do that. We was kids, you know what I'm saying? We were young. We didn't realize how much of a child we were until we ended up in some grown situation.
Tony Clayton was a young and eager prosecutor, just 2 years into the job and assigned his first murder case. These are his words. One punch. It wasn't beating him up. It was a one-punch case. I was a young, braggadocious kind of little kid. I said, oh man, I can convict, I can do it, just give me the damn case. I took the file and I worked it up. I went out into the neighborhood and I was able to get a conviction on it. This case has forever haunted me because I've constantly questioned myself. If I had it to do all the way over again, I don't think I would prosecute him for murder. I would offer him 21 years and let him do 7. That's what I would do. The reason being, I would deem it as manslaughter, and that has a provision in it that says, any misdemeanor affecting a kid of a certain age that results in the death of a kid is considered a manslaughter. Here is a simple battery, punching him in the head that resulted in death. I don't think the Louisiana murder statute was designed to lock up 16-year-old kids for throwing one punch. I should have not prosecuted Taurus for murder. I think I went too far. If the state of Louisiana lets him out, I would fall on my knees and thank God. This is a time the system would work if they let that kid out. I love my kids. I don't want anything to happen to my kids. I don't want Taurus Buchanan to beat one of them up, but I also know that people make mistakes and there are second chances and they should let Taurus go. He's paid his debt to society. For all practical purposes, he's been a model prisoner. He should get out and he should be able to prove himself. I did see him several years ago. I went to a boxing match and I talked to him. I forget the gist of the conversation, but he was cordial to me. He was respectful and said he understood. And I said, man, just let me tell you, I was young then. And I left it at that. I didn't apologize to him. And I'm never going to apologize to him because I didn't do him wrong. I think I did myself wrong because I have to live with what he's going through.